Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello viewers, welcome to my channel once again. So you join me on a journey once again. So we are going to Mixenden again, but this is a slightly different route because it was requested by a number of viewers. So we are going to go to Mixenden via Mount Tabor. So unfortunately I was not quick enough to get on the bus, and by the time I'm sorted we've covered quite a bit of the journey, but I will explain it on the way back. Nazreen खुश आमदीद, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। और जैसा देख सकते हैं मैं सफ़र शुरू कर दिया। आज एक दफ़ा फिर मिक्सेंडन जाएंगे, मगर ये दूसरा रूट होगा जो ओवर द टॉप मैंने आपको दिखाया था जब वो फ्लैट्स दिखाए गए थे। सो ये रोड जो है ये जी पेलन लेन है, तो हम इसे अपना इलाका कहते हैं कि यहाँ से लेकर किंग क्रॉस तक क्या कहें एशियाई लोगों की काफ़ी आबादी है। सो व्यूअर्स वर ऑन Pellon Lane, and so what you can see here is the Beach Hill School and the Crossley retail park on this side. So this area has seen many changes from my childhood. So there was actually a factory here and houses on this side. नाज़रीन ये जो है ये शॉपिंग कॉम्प्लेक्स है, इसे क्रॉसली रिटेल पार्क कहा जाता है। तो ये मेरे लिए बहुत यादें दिलाता है, क्योंकि बचपन में हमारे बहुत से दोस्त और क्या के कुछ रिश्तेदार भी कहें, क्योंकि उस हमारे गांव के लोग थे वो यहाँ रहते थे। तो ये बिल्ट अप एरिया है। ये जो मकान दिखाए जाते हैं ये विक्टोरियन एरा के हैं। So there's many Victorian buildings here, viewers, and of course there will be mills. There was actually a mill on this site, and on the road below that was called Raglan Road, and there was actually a Raglan mill. So if you can see further up the road, there's actually an old mill there as well that's seen better days. So this is Pellon Lane. So lots of different properties and different businesses. We have a care home here. That used to be a factory as well. नाज़रीन ये एक केयर होम है और यहाँ भी एक फैक्ट्री होती थी। वो देख सकते हैं ये एक पुरानी मिल। So that was, it used to be all a mill complex right up to here, and it's been, a lot of it's not been knocked down. This bit isn't in use, but over there are a number of businesses. नाज़रीन ये जो जंक्शन है ये है जी क्वींस रोड। अगर हम दाएं तरफ जाएं तो फिर हमारा इलाका यानी किंग क्रॉस और हॉपवुड लेन वाला इलाका आता है। तो ये जो है जी आगे एक टिम्बर मर्चेंट है, ये बहुत पुराने यहाँ हैं। So viewers, we're just approaching the junction with Queen's Road. So if we were to turn left, that would take us to all the other lanes that start from town: Hanson Lane, Gibbet Street, Hopwood Lane, and Parkinson Lane and King Cross. So we're going to go further and further up Pellon Lane. So this is the village of Pellon. So I hope you can appreciate that it's an inclination, and when we get to the top we will be able to see views of the valley. So नाज़रीन ये देख सकते हैं हम ऊंचाई पे जा रहे हैं। So I should point out on this side is the way to Brackenbed, which I've pointed. So we are on the other side of town. So again, this road leads to the other side. to the left and to the right of us are various buildings built over time, so it's a very built up area. So the name actually changes here. This is New Pellon. So as you can see, a lot of newer properties. And then on this side you see some red brick houses. They used to be council houses, but they are now privately owned. And in amongst that we have this drinking place. I'm not sure what it's called, but we will find out when we go past it. It's called the Halfway House. So that was obviously built in the Victorian times. So we continue to go up towards Mount Tabor, and then when we get to a junction we will turn right into the Mixenden Valley. This is New Pellon and we're almost in Mount Tabor. So again we've got some council housing that is now private houses, and on this side some Victorian houses. So as you can see there's a valley down there, that is Mixenden. So I'll point this way again. That is Mixenden, and beyond is Illingworth. So I have covered this area in the car viewers when I showed you or my son showed you the snow scenes. We're almost at the top of valley and we are in Mount Tabor, so I don't know if you can see the flats there. That is Mixenden. I think we are about to start going to Mount Tabor. So quite a number of people requesting me to go through Mount Tabor, so hopefully this will rekindle their memories again. So many names that I'll just read the first one on the list, and that was Andrea Nichols, and you now live in London. It's quite a steep climb. Usually a sign, or I think I've seen a sign. We're just about to approach Mount Tabor. So we get a better view of the valley. This is Mount Tabor. So once again, that is the valley down there. Mixenden and Illingworth and Ovenden, and on this side is going to be Sorby. So the whole of this area we call the lower Calder Valleys. So if you remember, I've made the video from the other side, and I showed you that I had been here. So we are now going to turn right towards Mixenden. And then if you watched my previous videos, then you will have known that I came along here. So all of this area is Mount Tabor, so another beautiful village with many period buildings. And on here we have an old graveyard. And when we get further on, you will get another beautiful, beautiful view of the valleys, the lower Calder valleys. So they're collectively known as that. And then of course we've got the smaller ones such as Mixenden and Sorby, which I will show later. So these are wonderful views, viewers. So on this side, Mytham Road, Sorby, Todmorden. Okay, and this is going to take us to Mixenden. So I made a mistake. I thought we were turning right further down, but I think it's further on. So I do hope you're enjoying the views. So beautiful country lanes. More beautiful farmhouses. This is another village, so we've gone through Mount Tabor. This is Wainstalls. This is a very agricultural area, so a lot of animals breeding. नाज़रीन ये दो तीन गांव जो है ये एग्रीकल्चरल एरियाज है। यहाँ क्या कहते हैं मवेशी लोग रहते हैं और एनिमल्स ब्रीडिंग करते हैं। Okay, so I got it totally wrong. It's left turning, but ये रोड जो है हमें वापस Pellon Lane ले जाएगा। So we are just on the outskirts of well, Mixenden is further up, so we are still in Wainstalls. This is Wainstalls. Beautiful period buildings. So I think the driver is going to take a break here for a short while. So I'll take a view. Oh, sorry. We are going to turn back on ourselves. I'm not remembering the routes. I think he's going to turn back and then go left towards Mixenden. It's obviously designed to pick up passengers. So we picked up passengers from Wainstalls. We will turn left here and then go towards Mixenden. Okay, this is the Calder Valleys. So when I said we're going to turn right, it's like further that way, and I think we will do this. Well, we will turn left, obviously, now that we are going back. So we are back on Wainstalls Road. Like it is heading back to Pellon Lane. Show you the wonderful view of the Calder Valleys. So further in that direction is Keithley and other places. So as I said, we will turn left here towards Mixenden. So we are on the other side of the Mixenden Valley. Beautiful country lanes. So as you can see, a few industrial units on the outskirts. So a few stone merchants. But obviously at one time this was all farming area, and some beautiful cottages. So as you can see, it's developed over there. You know, that's the road that we were on in the previous video. So as you can see, this is the agriculture in Mixenden. And there is the flats that we showed in the previous video. So, you know, the housing estates are on this side, and a lot of the agriculture remains on this side. I mean, in my childhood, all that was open area, but since the 70s, it's developed very, very fast. So we are going into the village of Mixenden, and of course the housing will increase. So once again, these used to be council houses, but they're now privately owned. So I really had to rush to get onto the bus. नाज़रीन, उम्मीद है आपको ये वीडियो पसंद होगी। तो हम दूसरी तरफ वैली से मिक्सेंडन जा रहे हैं। ये देखो जी, ये कितना अच्छा व्यू है, वो फ्लैट्स दोबारा दिखा रहे हैं। और ये जैसे पीछे आपने देखा, ये उतना एग्रीकल्चरल एरिया अब नहीं है। किसी टाइम यहाँ सभी एग्रीकल्चर होती थी, ज़्यादातर एनिमल कीपिंग, गायें ऐसी। So this is the village of Mixenden. Once again, we're passing Ash Green School. So this is Ash Green Children's Centre. So I know it was involved in a fire, so they have rebuilt the school there. So this is the journey that we've done in the previous video. Viewers, hopefully you can remember. So previously we stayed in the lower part of the valley, and today we've gone much higher up, and we've come into Mixenden via Pellon Lane, Mount Tabor and Wainstalls. So there's an activity centre that has a lot of teaching. Going into one of the estates now. Okay, so beautiful houses. So many of these built in the 80s and 90s. फ्लैट्स के करीब ले जाएगा। पीछे देख सकते हैं इस साइड से एग्रीकल्चर, जब हम दूसरी तरफ आए थे तो ये नहीं दिखाया जाता था। So when we came the other way, viewers, we weren't able to see the fields that are in the background, and it looked very much like a built-up area. But as you can see in the background behind the houses, there's open fields. So there are our flats that we are approaching, and that will take us on to the A629 and back to Halifax. But of course, before the A629 we've got Shrugs Road and other areas. So this is the village of Mixenden once more, but we've taken a route from the top of the valley, taken in the villages on that side, which were Pellon, New Pellon, Mount Tabor, Wainstalls and Wainstalls. So once again, I'll show you the developments from this side of what they are trying to do. So we are going to go to the top of the valley now. नाज़रीन, ये वही फ्लैट्स हैं जो प्रीवियस वीडियोस में आप देखे थे। तो हम फिर वैली के ऊंचाई पर जाएंगे, तो वहाँ से हमारा रास्ता वापसी का होगा। एक चर्च, jumbles on this side and the newer flats on this side. That's called a Jumbles Court. Jumples Court. I'm saying it wrong. So viewers, I do hope you're enjoying my bus journey videos. Please watch fully. Please try to watch as many as you can. So I keep making the plea for you to help me with the watch time. Once again, the driver has decided to have a short break. And we're off. So as you can see, much newer flats on this side. I'll show you the valley. So this road is called Mixenden Road. And if you recall, it's a very lengthy road. This is called the Crag Road now. And we see the Mixenden Valley from this side. That is what we are leaving. We are leaving the Mixenden Valley. So I wasn't able to show you this in the previous one, but as you can see from there, beautiful countryside, and there are a number of hikes there, of course. So we are now approaching the village of Wheatley once more. Viewers, if you remember my previous video. has narrow valleys, so people kindly giving way. As you can see down there, a housing estate in the village of Wheatley. Sat on the other side of the bus. I was hoping that it would reduce the what I call the smacking by the trees, but I don't think it has. So all this is Wheatley. So as you can see, some Victorian houses. नाज़रीन, ये गांव जैसे पिछले वीडियो में दिखाया था, इसका नाम है व्हीटली। तो ये देख सकते हैं ये कितने खूबसूरत छोटे छोटे कॉटेजेस हैं। Down there is the housing estates of Wheatley. Oh, beautifully landscaped trees. So we are taking a different route, viewers. Had we gone further on, that would have been Shrugs Road. We're actually going into Ovenden. So did I say Ovenden? We're going to go into, this is Lee Mount, just on the outskirts of Ovenden. So this is another village called Lee Mount. So it's very close to Ovenden. A much more built up area because we are quite close to town. Down there is Ovenden Road. If you watch my previous videos, I just showed you this school this church. The school is further back. This is the Lee Mount Baptist Church. So that is the carriageway, the A629. So various names, as I say. So in the olden days it used to be called Ovenden Road, and then if we go in the opposite direction, Keithley Road. Nowadays it's called the carriageway. So we are now, this is the Ovenden Way, and we're further down. So previously we came up this way for Mixenden, and we've had a bit of a shortcut. So hopefully from that sign you'll recognise that the A629 goes that way to the town of Keithley, and this way to the rest of Yorkshire. I think it goes all the way to Sheffield. Okay, so hopefully if you watched the previous videos you will know the route now. we are going to stay on this road and then it will go into town. So the chimney once more, and that is Dean Clough. नाज़रीन, उम्मीद है आप यहाँ से पहचान लेंगे, पहले भी ये रास्ता तय किया है। ये जो ये कैरेज वे है, तो हम इस गांव से आए हैं, इसे ली माउंट कहते हैं। तो ये जो इलाका इस तरफ है, इसे ओवेंडन कहा जाता था। तो अब हम वापस जा रहे हैं, आगे आपको एक बार फिर डीन क्लफ दिखाया जाएगा, तो फिर ऑरेंज स्ट्रीट राउंड अबाउट, और उसके बाद हम टाउन जाएंगे। So viewers, when we come to the traffic lights, when we went to Mixenden previously, we turned left, and that of course is Shrugs Road. So I was slightly wrong. It looks like we are going to go to Dean Clough from the bottom, so that's excellent. So this is Dean Clough from the corner, so we are going to go back onto Shrugs Road and towards Dean Clough and back. So we'll have some nice views of the Dean Clough complex. So what you see there is the bracken bed, which is at the bottom of Pellon Lane. So for those of you that don't know the areas, hopefully this gives you a bit more appreciation. So up there is Pellon. Okay, so we need to go back into town here. So we are going underneath the carriageway. So just like we saw in my video for North Bridge, we are now underneath the carriageway. So there's a really old pub here. It's now called the Dean Clough. And we have the wonderful Dean Clough complex. There's a travel lodge there and all sorts of other businesses. Got mills on this side as well. In the background there you can see North Bridge. That's where I was in my previous videos, just down there. So I did show you Fernley Mill from the other side. So we are approaching North Bridge Road. This is, well, it's called Dean Clough as well, but here in the older days it used to be called Cross Hills. I think there's still a sign that says that. So hopefully you'll recognize, viewers, that we are heading towards town. I've got a feeling this might stop at the bus station, or it should really go back into town, but we shall see. Okay, so the road you see there, as I say, is North Bridge Road, and we have just stopped at the lights on Cross Hill, so I'll stop the camera. So we're on the move once again. I don't think it'll stop at the bus station, it should go back to George Square. So once again we've got the retail parks there. We're on Broad Street now, viewers, with this is Broad Street Plaza. So hopefully you can, this is the bus station. नाज़रीन ये देख सकते हैं बस स्टेशन जो ज़र तमीर है। मैंने पुरानी वीडियोस में बहुत बिल्डिंग साइट थी, अब अगर इसकी मार्च की तारीख दे गई थी कि कंप्लीट होगा, मगर अभी तक नहीं कंप्लीट हुआ। तो आगे देख सकते हैं जी, ये टाउन की बिल्डिंग है। ये पहले काउंसिल बिल्डिंग्स थी, अब रिटेल यूनिट्स हैं। So ये जो है ये bottom of the town, as it were, which is called Market Street. think you'll go into Waterhouse Street, then Commercial Street, and into George's Square. So this is the council building at the Town Hall. It's called Town Hall Street East. Okay, so the grey van that you see there going towards Orange Street. नाज़रीन हम वापस टाउन आ गए हैं। ये टाउन हॉल का हिस्सा है, वो देख सकते हैं हमारा टाउन हॉल। हम यहाँ से लेफ्ट होंगे वाटर हाउस स्ट्रीट, तो फिर उसके बाद कमर्शियल स्ट्रीट, तो फिर वापस जॉर्ज स्क्वायर। So the bus was very quick to leave when I started viewing, so I wasn't able to make a good introduction. Okay, well, so we are back at Waterhouse Street. As I said, this is what we used to call the Banks Street, because we have, you know, NatWest here. There were many others. I don't know how what they are now. TSB used to be there. HSBC used to be here. Scottish Bank used to be here. Bank of Scotland, I should say. So we are now on Commercial Street, and previously we went further to King Edward Street, but we are going to bear right here back to George's Square. So hopefully you get the magnificent view of the Lloyd's Bank once more. And I was wrong once again, it didn't go to George's Square, it's coming into King Edward Street. I think they do it to fool me, or I think the better explanation is that I don't know my journeys. Okay, so we are back on King Edward Street, viewers. So I'll get off here and show you from the outside. So hopefully you enjoyed that. So once again, I do thank you for watching, viewers. So just show you a few shots of King Edward Street. So behind me is the bus that we went on, the 513 to Mixenden via Pellon Lane, and then it went on to the villages of, so the first village was Pellon, we call it Pellon Lane now, but it's the village of Pellon. Then there's another village called New Pellon, then Mount Tabor, then Wainstalls. From Wainstalls we entered Mixenden, and then we headed towards Ovenden. Okay, and then back here. So I'm a little breathless because it's been a bit of a, what shall we say, long journey, and I kept talking. So please help in whatever way that you can. Please keep watching. So until the next time, I say thank you. Look after yourselves, look after others. Apna ख्याल रखना, दूसरों का ख्याल रखना. So sorry about the starting, so I wasn't quick enough. It had covered about half a mile of the journey, but you get the idea that road starts from town, then we went into Pellon Lane, and then further on, and sorry, just after Mixenden, it was at Lee Mount, then Ovenden, so I got the route slightly wrong there, and then of course back to Halifax. So do look after yourselves, look after others, अपना ख्याल रखना, दूसरों का ख्याल रखना, दुआ में याद रखना. Allah Hafiz.